In the bottom position of Jagannatha, he is RagnaroK. And his opponent, up here in the top position, he is ByuN. Now, RagnaroK, he's not making anything just yet. There we go, his first hatchery. I was a little bit worried there for a second, but, you know, ByuN, he's one of those players. He relies heavily on his micro to bring him the day. Versus a Zerg player, that can be a blessing and a curse. You have a very big window kind of there in the mid game where the Zerg is still kind of powering up. He's only making enough to defend while he brings up his macro, and that's kind of the point where ByuN is really just in his element. He's got drops all over the place. He is dancing around the map, skirting around the map, just hitting in so many different locations that it's really tricky to say where he's going to be at any given point. You know, he actually also invented the 2-1-1 build and the Rax Reaper, 3 Rax Reaper, which is the infamous nerfed all of Terrans for all of eternity build. And so that kind of gives you an idea of his playstyle, and it gives you a good idea of how this series is going to go. Now, the Reaper not going to have a good time here because he's got to do a lot of cardio to get onto the other side of the map. Just going to play around here. A good micro from both sides. Just going to keep RagnaroK back. He really wants to spread that creep pretty soon here because he does have that third base nice and early. Yeah, I need to fix my hotkeys, definitely. But here we go. We do see the addition of the Hellions here with ByuN. This is going to help him kind of push around, force those link backs. Okay, game sound. The sounds are on. They're just pretty quiet right now. The music is pretty chill. But you know, ByuN's just gonna do a little bit of a rotation here. And here we go. He's going to go for a big drop here with these Hellions. To really make this worth it, it's about 8 drones that you need to kill. RagnaroK not actually having any vision on this side of the map is going to allow those Hellions to get in a little bit unabated here. But, this is the follow-up. He's got the armory coming on down. So a big Hellbat timing on the way. Just for this specific build, just for the drop play here, you need to get about 8 drones and get out of there with your Hellions to make it worth it. But here we go. The medevac going to get pretty low here, so the Hellbats in the main base lose their main support. They do clean up a lot of the lings, however. Okay, not too much done there with those Hellbats. Tried to get some additional damage after the drop. And now ByuN, he's kind of stuck with these Hellions. They're not going to be that effective versus the big push coming across from RagnaroK. Yeah, not too much at home, but he is going to go straight for the third base here. Get some roasty, toasty drone kills. Although RagnaroK is going to get straight in there. Bunker goes down. And luckily for ByuN, he was already going for a Banshee. Now SCVs are going to be pulled here. Going to try and kind of stem the flow as the wall has been broken already. The Roach is starting to get cleaned up here, but it's the Ling follow-up here that's going to be so damaging to the rest of the mineral line. Yeah, 22 workers going down. ByuN is in a world of hurt here. He doesn't have anything going across the map right now. I don't think he's going to tap out necessarily, because he does kind of like to try and fight things through. But this is just going to be a very big uphill battle for him now, as we have Lair on the way. Upgrades are going to be starting pretty darn soon. And yeah, it looks like ByuN's actually going to try and fight it out. I don't think that was very reactionary out of RagnaroK, just because if you're going for roaches that early on, you're kind of more thinking about the Hellions. That's just my opinion, though. That I think he was planning to be aggressive with that, but once he saw the Hellbats, he just realized that his timing was a lot earlier than he could. His timing was a lot better than he could hope for there. But the Banshee's going to try and get in here, not really getting too much more than scouting information. RagnaroK just kind of getting that transition in. And now ByuN, he did have that third base complete, so that's going to help him out a little bit. But again, like, he's going to have to rely on some really good micro here to make anything work. I'm a ByuN fanboy, not a nerd. But yeah, the Banshee's gonna try and keep the queens away here, but I'm liking that ByuN is gonna try and fight this out a little bit on this side. Go straight into the main base. We'll get cleaned up here. The Hellbat was a nice touch. ByuN, however, still not landing that third orbital. Gets cleaned up on the other side of the map as well, so his chances are just dwindling by the minute. He's going to have to make it work with this push right here if he is going to have any hope here. Vitas and the forced run by here from RagnaroK. This is kind of the GG move. Obviously, he's had a couple of GG moves there for a while, but this is kind of just the straw that breaks the camel's back. His production is completely compromised. The army is moving all the way back, and RagnaroK will take game number 1. So a really good start there to this series from RagnaroK. Very good play there with the roaches, getting that early damage. ByuN, he tried to fight it out, but with good micro, you do need to have units to fight with. Now taking a look at the map order, it looks like we're going to be Pillars of Gold for our next map. It's going to be interesting to see what these two players can do with this one. Let's take a look here at what we can see. Looks like both players have readied up, just waiting for the starting bell. And there it goes. And yeah, I do agree with you. Like getting those mine drops in would have helped him quite a bit. He really needed to do a bit more damage with those Hellions, that early pressure, in order to really make it worth it. And he, you know, ByuN is a guy who can really force the advantage early. It just comes down to whether he can get in there. But RagnaroK is looking on fire so far. And speaking of fire, spawning down here in the top position, he is RagnaroK. And down here in the bottom, he is ByuN. Now with that gas first, he is going to be able to move on up to factory tech a little bit quicker. It helps him get out those early harassment units, as well as kind of just allows him to keep that early map control if he's going to go up to that factory, which I do think he will back on the back of this. It's actually going to be a spawning pool first, though, from RagnaroK, and this is where things can get dicey a little bit, as with that early spawning pool, he's going to be able to send those lings across the map and kind of force a cancellation on that second CC as it comes. So we'll have to see how ByuN is going to react to that. There you go, 6 lings. A Reaper is on the way as well. We will, like, I do think there is a chance that ByuN keeps this at home based on what he sees. But it's going to be dicey here because the lings are going to go straight past this. And actually, there is no wall, so those lings are going to be able to kind of jump between the two. And as I say that, ByuN way ahead of things here, going to block off that opening. Beautiful scouting as well by ByuN. He's going to see the run by as it comes. The question is, will he know about the follow-up roaches coming on in? That's a good start on the scouting there. He does not want to get caught off guard. But the question is he going to send the Reaper across now? It does not look good otherwise. Oh man, he's gonna have to get across quickly here if he has any hope of defending. Okay, good. He does recognize that the roaches are on the way, and now it just comes down to what his next choice is. He's going to immediately drop the factory back down, get that starport running, gonna get a tech lab there as well, and just focus on marine production. I'm liking that it looks like he's not gonna actually try and defend the low ground position, because that's just going to spend a lot of his time, and it's gonna be so much more difficult to defend. So just pulling everything to the high ground is the correct play here, I feel. And we have the Banshee come down as well. I think that reactor was actually part of the wall, so this is where it gets dicey once again. RagnaroK just forcing his way through. A lot of SCVs having to be pulled here. And behind this, RagnaroK is actually not going all in. He's just getting his drone production up. Okay, not as bad as you would think there. 7 workers did go down, but with the addition of mules, I think ByuN will be relatively okay. Thank you to Daymanum Camo for the 5 gifted tier subs. You are awesome, my man. So now the reactionary Banshee is going to try and get a little bit of damage done itself, but it's not really going to get too much. ByuN is going straight up to that 3rd CC, so he is looking to prolong this out. And I think he has a pretty good opportunity here to do so. Cloak being researched, so these Banshees are going to get a little bit more utility. Now, oh, sorry, I'm really bad with names. I don't even say my own real name right sometimes. Yeah, yeah, we got to do this ByuN style. Now, Banshees are going to be coming in here, get a couple of quick drone kills here, but they do need to be careful as one of them is pretty low. And actually, that is really good drone damage. Nine workers going down with that. I don't know. Did he see the Spire? He has not. He has not been in range of that Spire just yet. But he is going for Bio once again, so... oh, look at that. He even has missile turrets in position. So ByuN really just on top of things right now. He's anticipating the next follow-up here and already prepared for the Mutalisk switch. And now this is kind of more the position that ByuN likes to be in. He hasn't taken too much damage. He's been really able to just kind of advance his economy up to 3 bases, even though he hasn't taken the 3rd just yet. And with that, he's just really able to explode in terms of his production. And look at these, and look at that. The missile turret positioning perfect to just keep these guys back and out of his base. Stim not yet done, so he's not going to try and chase these guys just yet. Banshee finally going down on the other side, though. You know, RagnaroK being very aggressive with these Mutalisks. I don't think that was going to be the right choice for him there. And that is actually going to just be a tap out. He was starting to fall pretty far behind, actually, as he was only at 59 workers. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so he did get that early damage done. Unfortunately, was not able to push back any further. ByuN got into his perfect positioning, and them's the breaks. Not to worry though, that is only tying it up at 1-1, so there is a lot of great SE2 action still to come in this series. Please play like Cure TY. That would be pretty fun to watch. Now we're going to be hopping into our next one. It's going to be Romanticide. And now this is going to be the important thing. Pay attention to that third base positioning. Right there is a very nice place where you can drop a couple of siege tanks and just push into that position very, very well. Oh, thank you. I try and be interesting. I feel like I don't try and please everyone, so I just do my own thing, and people seem to enjoy it. And you know, I'm just here for a good time. This is not a career. This is just fun. And you know what? Speaking about fun, we've got an amazing guy coming up here in the top position of Romanticide. He is in the Alpha X uniform, RagnaroK. As opponent, down here in the bottom, he is sporting a red coat. He is ByuN. And yeah, that's kind of the big question about his macro there in the last game. I feel like he was expecting more damage with that push after seeing what ByuN went for, but unfortunately just was unable to kind of keep up with the follow-up. You know, he was probably expecting a bit of a different one and just kind of started being very reactionary from there. But yeah, I think if RagnaroK did macro up behind this, ByuN really wasn't moving out on the map very efficiently just yet. He was still kind of in that power-up phase, so there would have been a lot more room to kind of push the creep, force some more engagements in his favor, and kind of win the game from there. But you know, we can talk about the past a lot, but I think the best thing is to look forward to the future. This game, I feel, is going to be pretty good. We've got the spawning pool down. We've got the hatchery down. We've got the Overlord going to see everything. And yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty standard to start for both of these guys. Hey, Sunlily. Missed ya. Haven't seen you around that often. Yeah, this is the third base I was talking about here. If you just plant a couple of siege tanks right here, it's a long way around to defend. So I really do want to see ByuN do a tank push here, even though I know that's probably not going to happen. Oh, I've already embraced my Skynet Overlord. Like, I have accepted him into my home. But you know what? RagnaroK actually hasn't accepted this Reaper into his home or his heart right now, doing a good job of kind of just keeping it out of his main base so that he can hide his tech choices here. So far, we're not seeing any Roach Warren this time. So that's already a difference in these two games. ByuN, you are crazy, my man, and I love it. So we are going to be seeing a battle cruiser play come out of him. And the thing is, ByuN is a more... He's a more bio-oriented player. We don't really see him play mech too often. So behind this, I do kind of expect him to go back into that bio. We'll have to see if he's going to be able to power up behind it. Because these are kind of two styles that are, you know, just strange to put together. Okay, that was a lot of diva right there. But, yeah, you know, he's got a good scat out here. He sees that there's no cloak on the production tab. But he didn't see the fusion core, which is the most important part here. So he's probably still thinking potentially Banshee. Now at the front, he is going to be able to push this pressure away. I think ByuN might be going almost all in with this. I don't think it's a true all in, but this is, if he doesn't win with this, he is going to be pushed a little bit far behind. Remember, just now sees the fusion core as well. So now I think RagnaroK is just being given so much time to deal with things here. The Queens being pushed back into the main base to deal with the battle cruiser. The Hellions gonna move in here, still have not morphed, just now doing so. And there's just so many Queens here for RagnaroK that he can hit both locations simultaneously with them. Now these Hellions really do, Hellbats rather, need to get on top of these drones to make this attack worth it here. The battle cruiser is going unabated in the main base for right now, but the Hellbats getting taken down without getting too many probe kill or drone kills rather. And ByuN is pushed back on both fronts. Now, I'm not going to lie, that was a pretty big commitment from ByuN that didn't work out the way he needed to. But the fact that he has Stim and three racks production going up to 4 and 5, as well as his third base morphing in, I don't think he's in a terrible position just yet. I do agree with you, 3W. He kind of just seems a little bit slowed down in his decision making and his execution of things so far. But you know what? That's not going to stop him right now. As RagnaroK still powering up. He's on 66 drones. Looks like he's cut drone production for just a little bit here to get out that Mutalisk den. He's actually just going to defend his fourth base here. Actually, not a lot of stim energy, or not a lot of transfusion energy. I forgot the word there. So actually get able to get 3 Queens for almost free. He's also going to see the Mutalisk popping here, and that's going to be a very big indicator. ByuN is very good at his focus fire micro, but I don't think even he can focus fire that many down. And he's still going to be a big nuisance out here, especially with the battle cruiser taking down the Queens. This is the ByuN we know and love. Just multiple locations. He's very difficult to deal with. And the Mutalisks, they're going to try and take this out, and they will eventually get it, but just look how little damage they do. Oh, reinforcements, you came in at a bad time. But you know what? They are forcing quite a bit of RagnaroK's army away from this natural. And actually going to get a few Mutalisks before they go down, 3 to be precise, as well as a couple of drone kills. This is the ByuN we know and love, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the upgrades have equalized. Overall, we do only have plus 2 armor on the way for ByuN. That might be a little bit of a mistake there. I really hope he recognizes it. And Mito's just going to kind of, you know, they're just going to kind of hang around. Not really going to get too much done. Now, even though he's getting cleaned up over there, the battle cruiser just being really annoying for RagnaroK's creep spread. Now, taking a look at this army supply, while RagnaroK does have a 20 army supply lead, ByuN is still very close in terms of that army. It is a good idea. You just got to come in with a kind of an open mind, knowing that you're not going to be very good starting out. It's not hard to get into, but it is hard to master, as these guys are really showing us right now what it takes. Luckily for RagnaroK, that Mutalisk ball is getting pretty healthy right now. So with that, it's going to be a little bit harder to dance around them. ByuN playing it pretty defensively as well, just kind of trying to advance his position, getting that 4th base location set up. Yeah, taking a couple hits here and there's not going to help him. ByuN actually supply block there. He did not have enough supply depots for these Mutalisks to come in. And yeah, I think right now he does need to get a few more mines in position to deal with this. He's going to fight back onto creep right now, but he's got to be careful. He does not want to take bad trades with this. Finally killing off the battle cruiser. That has got to feel good for RagnaroK. That was such a thorn in his side. And no, Rushi, I am an hour ahead of you. I can tell you that the next hour is pretty good because there's still StarCraft, so look forward to it. ByuN still needs to deal with this Muta ball here. He's going to be rotating the Thor around, which is nice. He's getting the shots off that he needs. But he's still going to have to push out eventually here, as RagnaroK is transitioning into those +3 upgrades. He's got the Ultralisk Den on the way and Adrenal Gland. So everything is, like, I don't want to say everything is going RagnaroK's way right now, but he's in a pretty solid position for right now, for this position, this time in the game. That will help out. Bane, really good Widowmine hits on those Banelings. And the Muta's actually going around to catch a drop, I believe, so they're not there. Yes, a Thor in his side. That is exactly what I meant. That was something that ByuN needed. Really good pickoffs there from the Mutalisk. But ByuN just being very precise, very methodical here. He does take a couple unfavorable Baneling trades there, but he is still fighting heavily onto this creep, not fighting too far forward, is actually going to take out a lot of these banelings and continue to push forward. RagnaroK's supply starting to falter. ByuN are going to come in to clean this up, but there's already another army back at home for RagnaroK, or ByuN rather, I hope. And it looks like the supply is now heavily in RagnaroK's favor. 53 banelings were in the production tab. So everything is coming up Zerg right now. As ByuN not even really able to take this 5th base location safely and effectively. He does have a pretty strong position right here. It's going to be difficult to break into. But I think with 53 banelings, that is good. That is going to be a linchpin movement here. The Widowmines trying to get done what they can. The Ultralisks, I don't think... Okay, they do have Chitinous, so they are going to help out extremely well. And ByuN going to be pushed back into his natural. Yeah, with the Muse flying around, currently a 50 to 60 army supply lead. And he's just going to keep advancing it, taking out this base. The reinforcements not enough to deal with even these small run-bys. And ByuN, he's going to hold out, it looks like, just for a little bit longer in this game. And as I say that, he GG's out. Okay, so ByuN, he had a good start to that game. He didn't get the damage done that he wanted to, so that was his really big problem there. He invested a lot into that, but it was a little bit delayed. It was a little bit just kind of off ByuN. But you know what? Still an amazing game either way. These players are playing their absolute heart outs. And you know what? We still got to drink a toast to them. To StarCraft 2, no matter where it takes us. Let us see. Technically, it's not coffee. This is actually the drink I've been having is warm apple cider with a shot of our sponsor, Fireball Whiskey. So Fireball Whiskey, like I've said before, guys, this is a very refreshing drink. It is very delicious, and when added to a warm fall beverage, it is just very good. Please drink responsibly. But check them out because they are really good for bringing us such great events like this, you know. And they are going to be, quite a few more here. We've got every Friday, Fireball Friday. It's not coffee, it's apple cider. I'm actually not. I do have a bit of a speech impediment, and I sometimes lose my train of thought, but that's kind of just me as a person. I'm not drunk, though. Oh, thank you, Riga. Riga96, you are awesome, my man. And everyone else, you guys are awesome too for coming around, sticking around for this amazing series so far. Currently 2-1 in the favor of RagnaroK, but you know what? ByuN, he's been known to make comebacks. last week, actually, he played stats in a best-of-9 show match that I got to cast. And it was really magical because he went down 4 games and then took back the next 4 in a row. So if anyone can do this, it is ByuN. So he's going to need all of your energy. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that, Henry Lesbig. We certainly don't mean to offend. But you know what, guys? Without offending anyone, let's talk about these guys in game. Spawning in the top position, up match point for Alpha X. He is RagnaroK. His opponent down here in the bottom position. He needs all of your energy, ladies and gentlemen. He's ByuN. Hey, let's do try and keep it a little civil in the chat. I do understand its point, and I do understand where he's coming from as his own stage in life. Everyone has different circumstances in the world, especially in the tough times, so all we need is a little bit of happiness. You know, we're all here watching StarCraft 2, the greatest game in existence, no matter what. This is a good day already. And you know what else is a good day? RagnaroK is going aggressive once again. He's going to be looking to close out this series with a few well-timed punches. And you know, ByuN actually did not go for the Reaper this time. He's gone straight into Marine production, so this is already looking a little bit dicey here for him. Although he does have the factory up and running. Oh, he's not going to be producing anything. You know, I totally want to do that, Vincentar. I probably could find a way to just put it down onto my macros on my keyboard, but like I got to figure out how to do that. And unfortunately, ByuN has to figure out how to close his wall as these lings are actually going to get in, and he's going to send one off to cancel the command center building for right now. This is already an unfortunate start here for ByuN. He's had a lot of time wasted. These guys had a union contract where they didn't have to go back to work for a little bit. But you know, the good thing for ByuN is RagnaroK is not following this up with roaches. I feel like that would kind of be a killing... I don't think that would be a super killing blow just yet, but it would still be a little bit difficult to deal with. ByuN, he's going up to that fast tech lab, so I'm thinking we might see him go for a fast stim timing here. One moment. Okay, so ByuN kind of just dancing around here, getting confirmation that that third base is down. Once again, we see that armory. And with the addition of building those Marines, another Hellbat push is on the way. ByuN, he must be practicing new build orders with this one because, you know, he's sticking to his guns with those Hellbats, trying to make them work. And I think the fact that RagnaroK does not know that this is coming might help him out just a little bit here. You do have 8 roaches on the production tab. He already had those started. So, It's going to be a question of whether ByuN can get in there and do the damage that he wants. And already it looks like the answer to that is no. The Roach is able to push this back quite effectively. Behind this, we do have Banshees on the way, but he's going to need a little bit more as this is going to prompt RagnaroK to go for an attack. So that's actually what the tech lab was for. This is going to be okay, just because he does have that Banshee, so the Ravager's not going to get in here too quickly. And that is a lot of damage mitigated here for ByuN. A couple of SCVs are being pulled to kind of deal with this. Only 3 going down so far. RagnaroK recognizes that this attack is not going to kill him. So just trying to get as many SCVs as possible. So a little bit of an overcommitment there from RagnaroK, I feel. Not really getting the damage done that you would expect from that. Now, ByuN is still pretty far behind in terms of that worker supply, down by 20. But, you know, he's got that third on the way. Once he gets those meal production going, then he's going to be a little bit safer. He's not far behind in any regards. Yeah, ByuN actually does prefer these more mobile styles. You know, he likes to push around, he likes to drop, and essentially that's really what's made him a good player, is not relying on siege tanks for the pushes. Now he is going to come in here. Already 3 workers going down. And Hellbat's going to clean up a lot of these Lings, but he will have to get out of there with the Marines. Unfortunately, these guys can't recall right now, so they're pretty stuck. RagnaroK starting to shoot up in supply a little bit here, currently 100 to 73. And he does recognize that there is no third base with this. ByuN still not able to get in there and get damage done. Stim has completed, so it's going to be a question of whether these Mutalisks can get anything. There are no missile turrets on this third base, so that is going to be the first big indicator. No missile turrets at all, actually. ByuN completely blindsided by this. This is actually just going to prompt him as well to try and get a little bit of aggression done on the other side. But yeah, this isn't looking the, as I say that, the Widow Mine's getting some huge connections right there. A ton of those Mutalisks actually getting taken out, so the flock has been destroyed. And on the other side of the map, 6 more workers going down as ByuN is hitting in multiple locations. That's pretty painful, though. Look at that! I think ByuN's stabilizing a little bit. Just a little bit, though. Now you can tell when those mules drop, because ByuN going super far ahead in terms of that income, but he doesn't really have a lot of production right now. Getting 15 workers here at this natural. So RagnaroK, I think, has overextended. The Mutalisk going down is the big kicker here. This flock is nowhere near the size that it should be. Look at that. He is literally just daring RagnaroK to jump into his base. Now ByuN is going to go on the offensive again, currently at 84 army supply. Milos are going to try and swing around here. They've started to regain their numbers, so that's going to help them out a little bit. That's a nice, healthy Baneling count as well. But it's going to come down to how far is ByuN going to push onto this creep. He doesn't really want to overextend here. That's why he's got the mines in the back for the retreat. He's going to try and come in and pick off the reinforcements, but not really going to be able to catch them. All of the Widow Mines, though, do go down, so ByuN is going to be forced back. It's a fighting retreat, and he's not really losing anything here, so this is a really good disengage for ByuN. Like 2 ships passing in the night. Now, I worry about this move out from ByuN. His army certainly isn't all here, and it's not as powerful as it relatively should be. He's got a lot of drops going on as well, so that's kind of dividing his forces up. Yeah, even getting just picked off right there is not the best for him. So I'm really interested to see where he's going to start getting some damage done as RagnaroK. His aggression once again going to be on display here as he moves across the map. And actually just backs off for a minute there, tries to allow the Mutalisks to get some pickoffs. Huge Widow Mine connections right there, but there is still so many Banelings on this. RagnaroK actually fighting into a bit of a choke point here, so a lot of those Banelings are going to go to waste. The question is, have they done enough just yet? Because there is still so many in the back. Looks like so far the reinforcements helping out ByuN tremendously, but a lot of his production is actually right there exposed. And yeah, with RagnaroK on top of the production, I think he may start to weasel his way into a win as the reinforcements swell across the map and the SCVs are starting to be under fire. GG is called, and RagnaroK with the easy 3-1 victory.